Hi there. My name is Sean Chappell. I'm one of the co-founders of Ramstar Games. Today, I would like to present a video to you that I had the opportunity to shoot back at the end of 2020. It's on a television show on public access out of Hamilton, Ontario called Hammer D20 and hosted by the amazing Steven Sobot. When I saw this video, when it first came out, I was absolutely stunned by the quality and what he did with our interview and how he interspersed it with our game and other things. One thing I wanted to let you know is that throughout the video, he refers to Hibernation as Honeybomb. And many of you may actually know our game as Honeybomb. Honeybomb was our working title, and we have since changed it to Hibernation to bring all aspects of the game in underneath the umbrella of the actual story of the game. Hibernation just fits better than Honeybomb ever did, and we're very happy with the name change. So, just as a heads up, every time that you hear him refer to our game, or me, to our game as Honeybomb, it's actually Hibernation that we're talking about, and don't let that confuse you. For now, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to let you enjoy the video. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Steven. Honeybomb is a hex tile-based game of area control, similar to Go and Othello, where two opposing forces of bees, drone bees and worker bees, are trying to take control of the hive. Whenever you place a tile down, you flip all of your opponent's tiles that are between any of your tiles. The winner is the person who got the most of their tiles face up. The game appears to be simple, but like any simple game, there's always endless strategies and complexities that follow. Let's get into it. There are three game variants of Honeybomb: Quick Play, Arcade Mode, and Total Domination. We'll get into each of these separately, but for the sake of the tutorial, let's go through Arcade Mode. In Arcade Mode, you start with 20 tiles of your team's side, as well as 3 specialty tiles shuffled and dealt out at random. The player who goes first is the person who's last eaten honey or a honey-based product. The neutral queen tile is placed in the center, and the starting player starts by placing a tile next to the queen. You can only place tiles next to the queen, your own tiles, or next to your opponent's tiles if one of your tiles is in its line of sight, demonstrated here. When you play a tile this way, it's called a pincer attack, and every one of your opponent's tiles between your tiles are then flipped and join your side. If you place a tile that has multiple lines of sight to your own tiles, you flip all of your opponent's tiles that sit in all lines of sight. Whenever a player does a multi-directional play like this, they also draw a specialty tile from the stack. The specialty tiles are unique tiles that affect yours and your opponent's tiles in different ways. The bear tile can be played on top of or beside any bee tile. When you do, every tile connected to it is given a bear paw token and can't be flipped. The flower tile or honey bomb tile can be placed on top of or beside any bee tile. Whenever you do, every one of your opponent's tiles touching the flower tile is flipped to your side. Note that you can't play another specialty tile on top of another flower tile, including flowers themselves. The pesticide tile can be played on top of or beside any bee tile. When you do, you discard all bees connected to that tile and on it, as well as any bee that would remain disconnected from the rest of the hive once those were removed. The last specialty tile is the beekeeper tile, which lets you retrieve any tile from the discard pile. You must immediately play the tile that you've just retrieved, however. So while this game appears simple, there are a lot of elements to keep in mind. What's the best play? What's the safest place to play your tiles? When should you play specialty tiles? These are all just some of the questions that may come up when playing. The last round is signaled when a player lays down their last bee tile. The opposing player then gets one last turn before the game ends. When it's all over, you count up your tiles and see who has won. In addition to arcade mode, there's quick play as well as total domination. In quick play, each player starts with just 10 bee tiles and no specialty tiles, making you rely exclusively on pincer strikes to convert your opponent's tiles to win. In total domination, you're given 20 bee tiles without any specialty tiles, and play the game as normal. However, when each player's played their last tile, they can then pick up their already existing tiles and place them somewhere else on the board. The game is over when either the workers or the drones have completely converted the opposing side, or no moves are available. I hope this helped you understand the game. Back to you, Steven. Thanks, Steven. So I got in contact with one of the game's creators, Sean Chappell, to get the inner scoop as to what the game is all about, why they made it, what they have planned for the future, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Steven, over to you. Thanks, Steven. So, Sean, what is Honey Bomb?
Well, essentially, Honey Bomb is a tiling strategy game with a bee theme. That's the simplest and most succinct way to put it, really. When we were doing our Kickstarter, some of the advice that was given to us was to be really succinct with your little byline, this tiny little blurb at the top of the page. What is it really? Make it short and to the point. So that is Honey Bomb in a nutshell.
Oh, okay, understood. And for the production of this game, what role do you have in this game?
Every role at the moment. It's not. I'm not in this solely. My wife Kit is working with me on this, and our friend Sabrina as well. There's the three of us in Ramstar Games.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've all sort of assumed every hat, and we're all doing little pieces of all the different jobs.
Right.
So the core concept was mine, but the game that has developed has been all of us working on it, and I'm the lead artist, at least on this one, but I'm not doing the design work. So the graphic stuff I don't do. I do all the artwork that's on the tiles, but the wording and the packaging and all that sort of stuff, I won't have a hand in that.
Why did this game come to fruition? Why choose a bee theme?
Oh, well, that actually that came not only from the tiles. The tiles are all hexagonal, so they're all sort of this shape.
Oh, cool.
And while the core concept of the game was essentially to take over your opponent's pieces, that was it in a nutshell. Like right from the get go, that was as far as I had taken the concept. And then after a bit of development, Sabrina and Kit had brought in these ideas of extra specialty tiles, which allow you to do other types of movements in the game. As we were playing it and laying it out, it really had that sort of feel of a honeycomb. So we started riffing off of bees and bee themes, and it actually ties in very well to bee culture. In the game, what we've done is we've pitted worker bees against drone bees. Okay. And in the real world, what happens in wintertime is that all the drone bees get kicked out of the hive. So that the hive can overwinter. This is actual real bee culture. So the hive can survive through the winter. They throw out the drones, who are essentially useless after the spring. And they get a great summer. They get to hang out and eat and do whatever they want, and just sort of slovenly, which is how we've depicted all the drones in the game. But come the winter, they get turfed and they don't make it. So that's kind of the idea, is that it's workers versus drones, and it just kind of developed from there.
So the company, Ramstar Games, is this the first game, or have you worked on something else before?
No, this is our first.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our sort of our baby. We're kind of curious to see where everything goes. It was just one of those things that kind of struck me out of the blue. I used to be a stainless steel fabricator.
Oh, okay.
I was working alone a lot, so I would get a project and then it would be go time, and I would just get parts and assemble things. So I'd be alone a lot. So I'd be thinking in my head all day long. And we got into sort of this headspace with board games because we play them all the time. And I started thinking about it. And the core concept for Honey Bomb jumped into my head, and I was drawing with my Sharpie on my workbench and sort of, how does this work? How does that work? Well, I should have been working. And ultimately, yeah, this is our first, but it has led to about a dozen different ideas, all very different from Honey Bomb. And we're actually already working on the second one. We've got the second one in sort of a pre-production phase where we're trying to figure out the gameplay.
Okay, excellent. That was my next question. Perfect. And privy to information, or is it private for the time being?
It is a little private for the time being. At this point, it's just a core concept, and it's going to be a card game rather than a tile laying game. Something with a few expansions, because it's got that opportunity. So we want to kind of go down that road and try that as well. And yeah, I think it's going to be in the same genre, shall I say, as Unstable Unicorns, Exploding Kittens, that kind of idea.
Understood.
So there'll be a glib, dark sense of humor, competitive game against your friends, but it's going to have our spin on it. There's certain things inside of those games that we don't like. One being the Nope card. or the nay card from Unstable Unicorns. We don't like that dynamic of being able to stop somebody from doing the play.
Yeah,
So we want to sort of have a different set of rules for our game.
gotcha. Are you a Magic the Gathering player?
Not yet,
Oh,
but
okay.
we are looking into it actually, because something else that we have planned
Yeah.
also has that kind of feel to it. It could be that style of game, but we don't know enough about that type of game in order to do it well or to do it justice yet.
I
So
understand.
a little bit of market research there, I think, is necessary first.
Kickstarter, how has that process been for you guys?
It's good. Kickstarter is a bit of a trial by fire. As you know, we were going to kickstart at the end of October. We decided to postpone it until the spring. We didn't feel that we were quite ready. There were some fundamental things that we were kind of missing. This is our first one,
Yeah.
and we really want to get it right. So we ended up putting out our Kickstarter campaign in a preview format to some different forums and groups on Facebook, and they had some really great feedback. We wanted to wait. It really depends on what you're trying to kickstart. We did a lot of research into the variety of different. I mean, you could just go on Kickstarter and cruise around and see what people are pushing on Kickstarter, what kinds of projects they're trying to get off the ground, and see the variety of approaches that you can take. So something that's, say, a digital download or a book or something like an ebook, maybe their page is short and to the point. But things like board games really require playthrough videos, review videos, all the tiers played out in or laid out in visual format, shipping information, gameplay shots, this, that, and I mean, it becomes this. It grows exponentially as you're going down the list. It becomes this pretty big monster, and it was more than we thought it was going to be. It took me a solid month to really sit down and put it together, make some changes, throw it out to the web, get some advice, make more changes, add a video. This didn't work, change that, something else, and so on and so forth. So, to anybody who's listening or watching, if you're interested in getting into a Kickstarter, don't do it lightly. It's, do it because you want to do it, not because it's fun, because it's not necessarily fun.
And so when can we expect Honey Bomb to drop?
This is, I'm hoping in my heart for March, end of March. So very early spring. That was our original idea, actually, was this year we wanted to be bringing Honey Bomb out in the spring. And of course, middle of March, COVID-19 reared its ugly head.
Yeah.
Everything went kaput. So we had a couple of conventions we were going to go to. We had game cafes we were going to go to. I was setting up a tournament in Rockton, which is not far from us, and all of it was shut down. And so it kind of actually, we hit a speed bump there, and it went into hiatus for a while. And truthfully, knowing now what I know about Kickstarter, we wouldn't have been in time to really kickstart our game in spring anyways. We would have been really floundering to pull it together in time.
Understood.
So it's not a bad thing that we had some time to sort of retool it and have a look at it a little bit more. If we wait till March or April of next year, we'll have a better understanding, a better foundation, a bigger crowd to bring to Kickstarter, and a much better opportunity to fund.
Excellent. And before we kind of close off, is there anything else you'd like to mention?
Not too much. No, I'd love it if people would actually come by our website, Ramstar Games, and have a look at what we're up to. We do have a print and play version of Honey Bomb that you can print off of our website for free. It does require you signing up for our newsletter. That's how it arrives in your inbox. But you can try it in the comfort of your own home. This is our solution to not being able to meet people face to face and get them to try it. There's a certain tactility in board games. It's one of the things that sort of sets it apart from video gaming. Yeah. And we can't do that through Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia or one of those, online gaming sort of platforms. So we wanted to offer it as an actual tactile game that you could play in the comfort of your own home. So if people are interested in trying it out, by all means, please come by ramstargames.com and grab your copy of it.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Sean. We're going to throw it back to you, Stephen.
Well, that was pretty amazing. Stephen really outdid himself. I cannot thank him enough. If you'd like to learn more about our game Hibernation, please visit us at www.ramstargames.com or just click the link in the description below. You can also find us on every major social media platform. We're more than happy to have you follow us there. For now, that is all. Thanks for watching.